So it's of course time for a new character unlock video in Duel Links, this time being Yugo from Arc 5. Well, Speedroids finally come to Duel Links. Are they going to be any good? Well, probably if you've played the loner event, then you'll know this skill is incredible. He's getting Clear Wing, he's probably getting Crystal Wing as well. We're getting Wind potentially in the mini box. It's going to be a pretty fun time for Speedroid fans because they might end up being genuinely a tier 2, tier 1 deck in Duel Links. Maybe not now, but maybe after Orcus kind of gets some hits. It'll be very, very cool. So let's dive into Yugo because he's a bit of a unique character in that he has a card on release, a limit 3, being the Triad Dice. Now, this is basically Bacon Saver, right? Negate an attack, but beefed up. It's not once per duel, it's a quick effect at any point in the opponent's turn, and being limit 3 means you can't play alongside things like Crackdown and Compulsory and Ice Dragon's Prison, and that makes sense, right? For stalling out of the game, it does make sense. Now, does this super hyper affect Speedroid fans? No, not really, because you can dump this to the graveyard via the skill, meaning you technically only need one copy of this card. So that's 2 copies of limit 3s in your back row that are completely fine. Very cool. Then we've got at level 7, the Fabled SRUR ticket. Now, there's 6 of these in total in Yugo's unlock, which is not very good, Konami. That's not very good. Now, I've said it about 10,000 times, right? These tickets are useless for new players. They are useless for old players as well. If they're prismatic, then maybe more so for farming purposes. But beyond that, they're just garbage. They're just complete garbage. And that is 2 whole card slots taken up, right? Think about 3 copies each. This could have been. So, not very good. Then we've got level 10. We've got the Fukudoshi Piper. Now, this can mill some cards in your deck, add 1 to hand, put the rest on the deck, or modulate levels in the graveyard. It's pretty cool. But it's not going to be a card you normal summon, right? It's again a card you'll dump to the graveyard via the skill, you then bring it back some way, and in that sense it's fine. It's a tuner, level 4, so it doesn't really work with the core summon level 4, bring out level 3, go for Clear Wing. It doesn't super work with that, but it is fine, right? It's fine. Then we've got at level 14, another copy of the Triad Dice. We've got at level 18, Speedroid Terratop. Now, this is a very, very good card, right? If there's no cards on field, you summon this card out. The problem is, how do you search this? Well, at the moment you don't, but you will be doing with Win in the mini box, and so having 4 copies of this is really good, but on summon, it is a rota for any Speedroid card, and so what you could do is summon this, then go search for your level 4 Piper, summon it, you've now got level 7 for Clear Wing on your field, which is pretty cool. Or, you can summon this, search for a double Yo-Yo, play the skill, dump a card with the skill, play the Yo-Yo, bring it back, and go for even more. It's no surprise this card is only available 1 copy. Honestly, no surprise. And that's kind of it, right? 3 of each card, 1 Terratop. It's fine. The tickets do kind of bring it down quite a bit. There could have been other cards available that we're getting via the box as super rare, as rares, right? Bring them into the characters, right? And the character would have been so much better than it kind of is. Now, skill-wise, he's got, of course, his default skill, the Full Speed Head Clearing skill, which gives you your clearing in your extra deck, which is pretty cool, and also makes all monster your opponent controls level 5 for 1 turn, which means it can be negated via Clear Wing, which means if you can kind of bait out an interaction, then this works out quite nicely. Now, does this make Link's Nick Seizes level 5? Because if it doesn't, and I don't think it does, this sucks hard. This sucks really, really hard, and you won't play it. So, yeah. Also, we've got High Speedroid Reboot, which is basically taking a Speedroid on your field and one in your graveyard and swapping their places, which is cool, but it's got to be the first thing you do. That's also fine. You've got Speedroid Recycle, which is sending Speedroids in your graveyard up to a level of a card in your field, back to your deck. Pretty cool. We've got Dice Battle, which is some hyper RNG. If you roll lower than a red-eye dice, you can do some things, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of anything that's RNG with chance, but this could be kind of fun, right? This could be kind of fun. There's also Speedroid Tune, which is revealing a Speedroid in your hand, and then returning it to your deck, then making a Speedroid you control, the same level, and if it was a tuner, you make it a tuner. It is basically all of those level duplication augmentation skills like turned into one, just for Speedroids, which I think is a pretty cool skill if the main consistency skill didn't exist, right? There's also the default gain attack points, not great. There's attack burst and draw sense low level and machine and wind, and that's kind of it apart from the star of the show, Clear Wing Acceleration. It's a once per duel skill, but these effects are once per turn, so you can use both in the same turn, which is really big, but you are locked into summoning synchros or win Dragon on machine tops only. Now, that's fine, you know? We don't need links at the moment in Speedroids. We will do eventually, right, when we get the Speedroid link. But we can still play things like the Red Dragon Arching Scarlight in this, right? It's a dark synchro, but you can play it in this, and you can access it very easily via the skill. So, if you've got a clearing on your field, which is pretty easy to do, right, with Centeratop, you can summon out a red-eyed dice from your deck or graveyard for free, which means you've then got access to a level 8 synchro, which, what is Crystal Wing? What is Scarlight? Level 8. And so it makes a turn 1 play for Crystal Wing super duper viable and way better in our current format than, you know, a Clear Wing would be, right? But also, second part, you can mill one Spear Tuner from your deck or field to the graveyard, or a Synchromoss from your field to the graveyard, and that's it. That is fantastic, right? That makes your double Yo-Yo summon into a level 3 in the graveyard, right? It turns your double Yo-Yo into a Starter card, which is fantastic. But also, if you send a Synchro from your field to the graveyard, you can then play a Clear Wing in your graveyard, which means that if you don't use this effect, you know, turn 1, you can then potentially, turn 3, ditch out one of your, like, Hagoitas on your field, right? Summon a Clear Wing from your graveyard, and then use Hagoita to do some other things, and do more, right? There's more you can do with this skill, which to me makes it so much nicer, right, than something like Phantom Knights, or like the Odd Eye skills, right, that kind of play the game for you. This does to an extent, but not as much, I think, as the other one, and it gives you multiple options to do rather than just kind of like one line of play, which is what skills have kind of devolved into and I've not really been liking. But this is a very cool skill, a very good skill, and will definitely make Speedroids very, very good in Duel Links. So overall, that is Yugo. I think he's going to be very good. I think character-wise, it's kind of like a 8 out of 10, right? The tickets definitely do bring it down. Skill-wise, there's some unique ones, right, which I quite like, but that skill is just too good. It's too fun. You know, it's a too fun skill. That's kind of it. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts down below on Yugo coming to Duel Links. Are you excited for Clear Wing, for Crystal Wing, for Win coming in the mini box, right? Should be in 8 days' time, right, before the KC Cup starts. It's going to be happening a bit earlier than usual. But yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.